So, you've probably seen this all over your social media feeds, right? Your friends are turning their photos into these incredible pieces of art, or maybe they're challenging an AI to guess where they are in the world. It looks like a ton of harmless fun, but it brings up a really important question. What's actually happening to our photos, and is any of it safe?
Think about it. You upload a picture, and then just seconds later, bam! You get this amazing Ghibli-style portrait back, or maybe a scarily accurate guess of your location. It feels like magic, but behind that magic, there's a whole lot going on. Every single time you share an image, you're interacting with this incredibly complex system, and it's so important that we understand what that means for our privacy.
It really all started as just a fun trend. People were using AI to transform their pictures into that beautiful hand-drawn look from Studio Ghibli films. Then came the AI version of GeoGuessr, where you'd upload a random photo from your camera roll and just watch in awe as the AI figured out exactly where it was taken.
So how in the world does the AI pull this off? It's not cheating by peeking at the GPS data in the file. No, instead it acts like a digital detective. It's analyzing all these little visual clues, the style of the architecture, the font on a street sign, even the types of trees or the weather, to make a seriously educated guess. It's a pretty powerful demonstration of just how much information can be pulled from a few pixels. But, and this is a big but, that fun little party trick has a really serious flip side. The moment you upload an image, especially one with your face in it, you're making a privacy trade-off that you might not even realize. Your photo stops being just a picture, and, well, it becomes a very valuable piece of data.
And this brings us to a super important term, biometric data. Now, this isn't just any old data. This is information about your unique physical traits, like your fingerprint or a scan of your eye. When you upload a photo of yourself, you're basically handing over a detailed map of your face, which is one of the most unique identifiers you have.
And here's the reality of that deal. Once that image is on OpenAI's servers, your direct control over it is pretty much gone. You can't be 100% sure how it's going to be used to train future AIs, who might get to look at it, or how long it's going to be stored. You've essentially given it away.
And the data collection goes way beyond just the image itself. OpenAI is gathering everything from the prompts you write and your account info, all the way to technical stuff like your IP address. They're not just storing a picture. They are building a pretty comprehensive profile of who you are and how you're using their service.
To understand the sheer scale of this, just look at the numbers. ChatGPT gets over 600 million visits every month. That is a colossal, mind-boggling amount of data, including millions and millions of images being processed every single month.
And this data is really sensitive. A recent EU audit found that almost 2/3 of it contained personally identifiable information, or PII. What that means is it's not just anonymous questions. It's data that can be directly linked back to a specific person. It can be linked back to you.
And get this, even when you think your data is gone, it might not be. For some of OpenAI's services, data like screenshots can be kept for up to 90 days after you delete them, usually for what they call abuse monitoring. That's a 3-month window where your supposedly deleted data is, well, still there. So why does all this matter? Well, because the risks are very real. That fun location guessing game could easily be used to dox someone. Your face could become a permanent part of a training data set, get used to create deepfakes, or even help with identity theft. Every single upload opens the door to potential misuse.
Now, there are rules designed to prevent this from happening. We have major regulations in place to protect our data. But there's often this gap between what the law says and what's actually happening in this super fast-paced world of AI. Let's take a look at that disconnect.
Over in Europe, there are 2 key laws that govern this space. First, you've got GDPR, which is all about protecting personal data and making sure companies get your explicit consent to use it. Then there's the newer EU AI Act, which takes a different angle. It focuses specifically on managing the risks that AI systems themselves pose to our safety and rights.
Under GDPR, the rules for handling sensitive biometric data are supposed to be crystal clear. Companies need your explicit consent, they have to be totally transparent about how they use your data, and you have the right to see and delete your information. And crucially, they should only collect the data that is absolutely necessary.
But here's the disconnect. Reports from 2025 suggest that ChatGPT is still not fully compliant with some of these core GDPR principles. For example, the policy of keeping data indefinitely really clashes with that principle of data minimization, which basically says you shouldn't hold on to data for longer than you absolutely need to.
Okay, all of this might sound a little alarming, I get it, but you are not powerless here.
There are real, concrete steps you can take to protect your privacy and get some of that control back over your data. Let's walk through the most effective ways to do that.
First up, and this is probably the most important one, you can opt out of having your data used to train OpenAI's models. Just go into your settings, find Data Controls, and you'll see a simple switch to turn this off. This one action prevents your future chats from being fed back into the AI's learning process.
And before you even upload a photo, just run through this quick mental checklist. Can you blur or pixelate any faces? Can you use a tool to strip out the metadata that might have location info? Could you crop the image to remove that identifiable landmark in the background? Or even better, could you just describe the image with text instead of uploading it at all?
ChatGPT also has this really handy feature called temporary chat. This is perfect for anything sensitive you might want to ask. When you use this mode, the conversation isn't saved to your chat history, which gives you an extra layer of privacy for those one-off interactions.
So, what's next? What does the future hold? It's really important to remember that every single piece of data we provide today is actively shaping the AI of tomorrow. These models are constantly learning from everything we give them. As cybersecurity specialist Christoph Kemper puts it, the incredible speed of AI development is creating this real tension between innovation and our privacy. The key takeaway here is empowerment. We need to be able to make informed decisions about the data we choose to share.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought. Your photos, your conversations, your data, it's all part of the curriculum for the next generation of artificial intelligence. The question we all need to be asking ourselves is, what are we teaching it and what will it learn to do next?